What's up, guys? So, the average cost of going to college has almost doubled in the past few decades, and the average salary has more or less stayed the same. And my question is it still a valid option to start a career through college? Or should you think about putting the money that you would spend on years of college to books that you can flip in just a year or under? For those who don't know, my name's Garrett. I've been selling on Amazon for 3 years, going on my 4th year. And last year I did just underneath $100,000 in sales. And I wanted to make this video because I'm definitely it's definitely going to be an opinionated video. I've soured on college, and I want to get the reasons why I feel the way I feel out the way first. That way the biases is out there and there's no confusion. So I went to college. I graduated with a degree. I competed in the athletics, wrestling during that time. So I only have $23,000 in debt, which is to me that's only because I know people who have close to 100,000, but right now currently I have 23,000 in debt. I did use my degree for a few years. I have an exercise science degree, so I did the personal training thing for a brief moment. I did work in the athletics department at the college I graduated at, selling tickets to sporting events, and I realized that the one selling tickets is where I made the most money as a salary job. And you know, I was making barely 36,000 a year, and that's before taxes. So I realized working there that there's not going to be a way for me to pay off my college debt without starting some other side business. And that's how I started Amazon, realizing that the money that I'm making for my salary or an hourly job just isn't quite going to be there. And that's what drove me to find other ways to make in revenue. And you know, I don't want to hate on college. I know that it's a very good thing for some people, but I think the majority of people it's not. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the value to me. Like, if you look at it as an investment standpoint, it's very hard to justify. And there's a few degrees that I would think that, you know, that obviously it's a great thing. If you want to be a doctor, or in the medical industry, like a lot of medical jobs, you know, you can justify. Engineers, a lot of those other high paying jobs. If you're going to college and you know you want to be an electrical engineer that's going to make, you know, $200,000 a year, and you're only going to be spending, you know, $60,000 to $80,000 to get that degree to make that makes sense to me. But for me, like, I to be honest, I went to college for wrestling. I didn't go to college to get a degree. I didn't know what I wanted to do for a degree. I knew that I wanted to compete, and that's it. And that was a big mistake on my part. And because I kind of look at it like this. So if I was making $36,000 a year with my degree, but it cost me $23,000, that's way too much. You need to be making at least double what the debt you're pulling out. And this isn't like exact math or anything, but in my opinion, you need to be making, like, if you're going to make $100,000 in your job, you need to be only pulling out $50,000 to get that degree to make it. And even then, you're still going to be struggling for years to pay off that debt. It's still going to take years and years and years to pay it off. And with doctors and engineers, I would say that and medical degrees as well, like nursing and all that stuff, they'll make enough money to where they can eventually pay it off pretty quickly. No matter what job you get, you still have to work for years. That's the thing. That's where it doesn't really make sense to me for the investment standpoint. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an engineer, and that's your dream, you know, that's different. But if you're looking at it, sitting down and thinking, okay, I want to make money, I want to be in a better position than I am now, and you're thinking, all right, I've got two options. I can either, you know, pull out, you know, 60 to 80 grand, and in 4 years I could be making $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year. that very definitely varies. But if you have a plan and that's what you got, then by all means. But if you're just thinking like, all right, I just need to make money, like I don't really know what path that I want to take, don't go to college. If you don't have a trajectory or anything, and you're just like, well, I'll just do the prerequisites or the first 2 years where you got your basics out the way, I just wouldn't do it. I would take that money and put it towards, for me, it's books, but it could be anything. You could start selling anything and make it work. But like, books has its risks. Like Joji and Victor just came out with an IP complaint video. Definitely watch that for if you want to understand risks more. But there's risks of getting intellectual property put against you, and then your whole Amazon website could go down, and or storefront could go down, and that's a risk. I'm not saying that this is the answer to everything, because there is work involved. There is a lot of hours that you're gonna have to put into it. It's not easy by any means, but it's quicker. It's a lot faster. If you put, let's see, my college, it costs about 10 grand per semester to go to college there. If you're living off campus, more if you're living on campus. But if I took that 10 grand per semester and just put it into books, every 6 months, I'd be getting that money back. And then whatever profit I got off of that. I mean, 6 months is a baseline number, give or take a few months by each one, because not every book is the same. It's not all going to flip exactly like that. But that's the thing, is you're looking to flip your money as quick as possible. And in college, you're not really doing that. It's going to take years and years to get that money back and pay off your debt and then come back, you know what I'm saying? So that it's just tough for me to say that that's the way to go. Because with selling books, before, whenever I was working hourly jobs and the salary jobs, I never had the option of being like, well, I could pay off my debt, or I could put the money here. With selling books, I've had that option a few times. I've had the option that I could go pay off my student debt if I wanted to. I haven't yet, because still in debt, but I haven't yet, just because I want to roll into the business and grow the business more and more. And I mean, that's my choice. I'm choosing to do that. The low interest rates for student loans is what kind of keeps me from doing that. If it was a credit card, oh shoot, get that paid off quick. Because I think it's like, anywhere from 20 to 30% interest rates, and that's ridiculous. And I think my student loans was at like 3% or 5%, something like that, something low. But that's my reasoning for not paying it off. But I've never had that option before I was selling books to be like, well, I could pay it off. I've never had that option because I never had enough money. It was just what they call a drip feed of money. Whenever you're working for somebody, they're just kind of drip feeding it to you. They're just giving you a little bit, that way that you stay kind of in that 9 to 5 or that salary job, and you kind of can't leave because you've accumulated all these expenses that keep you kind of sucked into the job, and then you're kind of stuck, and until you find a way to break free of that job, and like through selling something. Like for me, it was books, and I think that's a big thing, where people just don't quite see that they're stuck somewhere just because they're making decent money. They're not like struggling or anything or whatnot, but they're just not getting ahead. They're just staying where they're at, But like I said, you can double your money with books fast. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that people don't quite get. Like, I'll show an example. So I said that I made $36,000 in a year for my salary job, and that was before taxes. But if you look on my spreadsheet here, I've got the total spend right here, which is all of my cost. So every time I buy a book, I put the cost right here and go down all for the whole entire year, and I've done this since January. So this is my total spent that I've spent this year is $37,864. That would never have happened on my hourly job or salary job that I had, it would just never have happened. I would never have had that much money to do it. And this is now showing that you can just use your money to make more money. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I just keep rolling it in, because like right now it's not really making a lot. I can't really live off of it, but I am rolling it, and eventually that money is going to get so big, that ball that I'm rolling is going to get so big that I'll be able to take a little chunk out of it and it won't affect the business as much. And it's just a mindset shift. I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and that book really helps change your mindset. I know there's a lot of hate on it lately, but it really does help you shift your mind from living paycheck to paycheck mindset to, investing, and what to invest in, and like what an investment actually is. And it's something that brings you money back, and something that isn't an investment, it's something that takes money out of your pocket. And that's huge to me. But that's my 2 cents on that. Again, this is all my opinion. I would love to hear your guys' opinion down in the comments. If you're, you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, what your experience was with college, and, if you wish you would have done college more or books more or whatever, or selling something else. But on this channel here, I'm going to go over like how to sell books, how I turn cash into books and everything. And the video that I'm going to suggest now is a great video for you to watch next if you're kind of interested in that. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.